Now I'll just show you what these icons do up here. So this first one here, this is a preloader icon that will hide your preloaders. So if you click that, you notice with most templates you get, it's going to have this preloader that hides everything on your page until your page loads. So if you want to be able to customize that, you can click that to bring your preloader back, and to get rid of it, you just click that to make that the preloader disappear. Okay, this next thing is something I never use personally. This is the drag mode. So you notice if you drag a particular section somewhere, it's going to give you a green light to indicate where you're going to be able to drop that to. If you want to be able to instead just slightly move things, you can change the drag mode. And again, I don't recommend using this, especially not for templates. Maybe if you're not using a template. But now you see you can just slightly drag things, and you see how it kind of messed up the template by doing that. That's why I don't recommend using that. So here you can use the undo arrows, but when you do the drag mode, it's going to be a different step for every little bit of movement. So you have to undo a lot of things to get that back to the way it was before. And again, I always recommend that you do use these backup and restore. So this security icon is your backup, and this little database looking icon is your restore. So if something goes wrong, you can just click this database icon to restore to your last backup. Now this disable style, this is a feature that if you have something on your page that maybe it's got several layers on top of it, you can get to your layers if you go over here to this layer section here. So for instance, if I'm here, I can go to my layer section here, and you see that highlighted right there. And that's, if you want to go to the layer above that, you can go up there. If you want to go to layers inside that, you can go down here. But you may have situations where it's faster just to be able to see the things inside your layers, or to maybe change specific backgrounds by just using this disable style. So it's going to make your page look very ugly, but it's not how it's actually going to look on the page itself. It's just how it's going to look in the editor. You notice here all of the style is gone, but now I can go in and I could change background images, or I could change text really fast, or any of the images really fast there with nothing getting in my way. And then when you save that, when you change something, it's not going to affect how the actual page style looks on the actual page. So it just gives you a quick way to get in and edit things. Of course, the other option, we'll just change that back. The other option would be to just go to something like for this section, and you can use the edit code here, and you can change all the text and everything right inside there, and then click on apply HTML changes. Now this plus and minus, this plus will create a custom content block. So you'll have your blocks here, and you'll see a custom content block that you'll be able to drag on if you use that plus. And then if you want to delete the blocks you already created, you can click that. That will give you the option to delete them here. This G plus icon, this is just for Google Fonts. If you want to install Google Fonts, you can put the font name here and then the style sheet there. And you can also do that if you go here to templates and styling and go to page builder fonts. You can add fonts right there as well. So the next thing, this H stands for the head section. So this is where you can set your meta tags and everything specifically for each page. And then there's a JavaScript icon here as well. This would be for JavaScripts you want to append to the end of the body tag. So right before the end of the body tag. And then this plus and minus, these are universal sections. So if you want to create a universal section based on the content you already have in the editor, you may want to use this if you want to build like a universal header. So what you could do is just delete everything else on the page. Just go in and delete all your different sections. Until all you have left is the header. So you see now that we only have the header left, I can create a universal section there with just the header. You notice that's going to take you to where you have your universal section here. Now you can, if you click update, you can edit this and set this to be your header, or whatever you want to name that. And now in the page builder, if we go back to the page builder, open that. So because I'm in the template page builder, I'm not going to see that. So I've got to go actually into either the member pages, member access pages builder, or to the front end pages builder. So I'll go into the front end pages here and I'll open the editor. Now you see we've got the universal sections here, so I can just drag that on and you'll see it's going to just put in the name of whatever that is there. But then if you click here to view the page, you'll see that the header is there. Now you can't see it because that was a dark background, so I'll just go ahead and change this background color to dark. And we'll view that again. So you see now we've got the header there. So that can be a universal header on any page you drag that onto. So you notice anywhere that you set this on any of the pages that you set that will be on the page. Then to edit that, you can just go into your universal sections. So universal content, universal sections, and then you can open the editor for that and you can edit it right there. If you do have a preloader on this, I recommend, if it's also on the page, just to click on it and delete it. And so now you've got just your header here. So also here in the editor for the header, I probably want to change the background color so I can see that. So I'll just change that to black there. So now I can go in and change all the navigation links here for my universal section. And then I can just drag that on to any of the pages I want my header on.